Hi traders, Mr. Golden is on the line. Well, the third day of our so-called marathon, Challenge or Test starts. Who calls this what? Where we will try to make $10,000 from a $1,000 within 7 working days. So, in the last video, I actively applied the RSI strategy, which it recently shared in my Telegram channel. Therefore, I intend to continue trading with this strategy, as I am more than satisfied with the result when using it. Okay, let's go. From $1,000, our account has already grown to $2,195. This means that I can and have the opportunity to increase the risk from $250 to $300 per trade. We did this. Next, what do we need? We have to open the RSI indicator. It is located in our indicators folder on the Pocket Option platform. Let's choose it. Everything. The indicator is running, automatically configured. I won't repeat myself about how to use it, because I told it in the previous 2 videos. That's why we'll just focus on trade here and describe actual situations that are happening, in principle, on the schedule. Remember that we are mainly looking for positions on a 15-minute time frame, and we implement them already on a 1-minute time frame. Okay, so let's go through the assets, see what the market is offering us now. Today is Monday, the beginning of the week. The price can be somewhat volatile, but it forms a range for general work throughout the next week. I mean, on the remaining days. Okay, let's see what the market shows us here. We will look for a price in the zone of overbought, oversold, or find divergences between them, which will also emphasize, in principle, as in this case, it was possible to realize the position. Let's see, here the price reached the overbought zone. Here it did not. Instead, we see that this high is lower than this high. However, according to the indicator, on the contrary, this high is higher than this high. This was already a divergence and a signal that it was possible to take a short position. Here we did not have time, but there are enough opportunities on the market. So let's look further. Yes, here we have lateral movement. We don't trade like that. GBP USD is approaching the overbought zone, but has not yet reached it. So unfortunately, there are no current positions for this asset yet. Okay, let's look further. Here our asset fell into the oversold zone where all this short impulse and short movement came from. However, it has already moved quite far from the actual entry point, so it will not be possible to implement anything either. Okay, what does your odd showing us? There is contact with the oversold zone. There is a reaction, a second approach, divergence. I think you notice this. And a long impulse. Also too late to implement, but simple enough for you to understand the logic and that this happens all the time in the market. Absolutely all the time. So let's look for positions. USD JPY also looks insecure. Here it already looks more interesting. For 4 minutes on the buy, we are in the oversold zone. I expect a pullback movement of this short impulse. At 5 minutes, we have an equally significant compression above, which can be removed, unless, of course, the price gets stuck in a consolidation from here. Therefore, the position looks quite presentable. Entrance on pullback. A deeper pullback is possible to this inefficiency. I did not see the need for this. That's why I implemented for 4 minutes, because of just taking a position on a long local momentum. That is, do not sit for too long. Let's see how it works. We have already tested this strategy in the VIP channel. If you want to follow our work, the link to Telegram is in the description. There are 10 seconds left until the position is completed. As I said, we will aim locally within the limits of this fractal. That is, in this range, where the price was compressive. First profitable deal, third day of the challenge received. As you can see, the strategy is very simple. 15-minute time frame, RSI indicators. Everything worked perfectly. Okay, let's find the next position. Let's review the previously viewed assets, what they are currently displaying. Perhaps the situation on the market has already changed. Odd USD is approaching overbought levels. However, not in contact with this, so we still don't have a sale signal. Looking further, GBP USD is also approaching, but there are no actual positions on it yet. USD CHF, nothing interesting here as well. Here we already had contact, as you can see, and there was a primary reaction of the long one, which overlapped some part of the data of the short candles. Therefore, in principle, it would be possible to implement in the short-term perspective. However, I don't fully understand where to aim with this move, so I skip this position. Let's look further. So, CAD, JP. Also, nothing interesting here. Here is a good short movement, which started from the overbought zone, from these candles, and it is in a trending movement, not very volatile, but still moving downward. If you take 5 minutes even, I think for 4 minutes, you can implement a position here, purely in the context of the fact that in this position, we no longer concentrated specifically on the moment of reaction with a level of oversold or overbought. Here, the price has already started the algorithm. The market has already moved in a short trend. As you can see, it does not show any particular pullbacks. We have a number of long-term inefficiencies, but I believe it should be easily overcome. If we open a 5-minute time frame, at the time of entering the position we have already reacted with the given inefficiency of the 5-minute value. This is where it will be clearly visible, and the price signals us that it is ready to continue moving. Also a short-term position due to the fact that I do not know whether this level of sell-side liquidity will be reached at the moment. Will a corrective movement be carried out, after which the price will once again continue its short movement? Let's see how the position works out, and continue. If you have any questions about this strategy, feel free to write to us on Telegram. We actively communicate there, discussing deals and sharing our experience. Let's switch to a 1-minute time frame so that it is more clear what is happening on the chart now. As you can see, at the moment of entry, we continued the short movement, after which we received a small long impulse, which has effectively led us to an overlap of local inefficiencies, and the price is poised to continue this move. So what do we have there in terms of time? We have 6 seconds left. Very, very close at the entry point, but it's a sure win. Well, 2+ deals have been received so far. Similarly, with the help of the RSI indicator, which indicated to us that the asset has already interacted with the oversold zone, where accordingly, this shorting movement originated, which did not show any actual pullback, except for this green candle. That is, a calm entry to the continuation of the local trend, and an easy profit in 4 minutes in our pocket. Well, we can try to finish today up to $3,000. If there is such an opportunity and there is some local situation on the market, that will suit us. Okay, I'll increase my risk by $50, just to have a nice number. Usually I don't use this in trading, but we understand that this is a challenge. We already have a significant advantage. $50 will not play a role for me here at all. Cool. We went to see all the assets again. This is how, in principle, I choose positions, chase assets, again. Look for some patterns, changes that I describe to you, and implement my positions. Yes. Your CAD. There was a good position here, but it has already exhausted itself. This hype was the primary goal. It is no longer relevant for us. Yes, let's look further. USD CHF, nothing yet. USD JPY, I don't like it either. CAD JPY, nothing interesting either. Let's leave it in the list of favorites for quick return. UR GBP, not interacting at all at the moment. Chief GPY, same as well. UR odd, also not interesting. Number. The profitability here is somehow too small to take risks. I think we could, of course, continue our short movement. Let's take a 5-minute look. There was already a pullback. I think you can Try to implement for 6 minutes. A little longer. We will give the price a chance to rebalance because we see that it is noticeable that the movement is fading in the short direction. It is noticeable. However, the potential still remains relevant. On the 1 minute, let's implement in the short direction for 6 minutes. Since firstly, the price has not yet reached the oversold level. That is, on the 1 minute time frame, we still have a perspective to continue the short movement. On a 5 minutes, we are trending. We already had pullbacks. We have tested this zone and are clearly moving towards the target in the form of a sell side. On the 15 minutes, we also have 4 minutes left before closing of this short candle. I think it will close lower. And even if we get pullbacks against us to rebalance this inefficiency, then in principle, the time reserve is calculated in such a way that the position should have time to close in profit. Yes, let's open a 1 minute time frame and see it. If this position does not end in success, we still have an exercise to apply the martingale method to the next position, if one occurs, to withdraw the account up to $3,000 in 1 day. Okay, let's wait for practice and then we'll talk. I publish these signals daily in the Telegram channel. It's all free. Join us. The link is below the video. Okay, 30 seconds left until our practice is over. Given a little too much time, should have given 5 minutes for that to replace M15 candles. This is where to close in profit. Give it all over. However, we still have an option of realization of the martingale position. This position is closed negatively at the last minute. No problem. Let's find another position and we will try to bring the account to $3,000. As I said, rebalancing of this inefficiency M15 is quite high. It opposed our position. Okay, we are deleting this asset. Let's see what's relevant now. AUD, JPI, EUR, CAD. So far within range there is interaction here, a continuation. All right, let's turn on 5 minutes. Well, it looks risky. To be honest, I don't want to participate in this position. However, the indicator signaled us that there will be long-term growth, and this could be used. Let's look further. Let's save GBP CAD because it is approaching the overbought level, which is positive for us, in order to open short positions. GBP, CHF nothing here. GBP, USD is also approaching overbought levels. Probably we have to wait. However, let's review all relevant assets, which give us some certain good profit percentage. AUD, USD, nothing interesting. CAD, CHF, 15 minutes. And if you look at the 1 hour time frame, we have hourly inefficiency. Here, by the way, is an interesting situation. Let's try to implement here using martingale. Let me explain the quick logic. First, there is the 1 hour inefficiency as a potential price target. Let's tag this. This is what is currently really relevant and really interested in the price before continuing the short movement. Blue color. I like it more than anything. Further 15 minutes, we had a signal that the asset was oversold, where in principle all this long movement towards our current zone began. This is the second argument from the point of view of our position. The first is the 1 hour inefficiency. The second is that the indicator signals to us that there will be a long movement, 5-minute time frame. We are stuck in consolidation. However, I think that we should soon get out of it and go out rather aggressively with momentum in this area as a potential target for our position. Let's turn off the 1-minute time frame. We have already had a pullback. After this pullback, we entered in principle a breakdown of these levels and reaching the zone of the 1 hour inefficiency. Let's wait for our position to finish and talk about this then. For those who want more practical examples, you will find results, signals, and useful materials in our Telegram channel. Check it out. The link is below the video. There are 10 seconds left until the position is completed. As you can see, the position hit the target I described earlier. 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 2, 1, profit. And not taking into consideration the $50, $3,000 on our balance. A great end to the third day of the challenge. That is, we now have 3 days of the challenge, 3 days before the starting deposit. What do I do to greet you? RSI is working great, so we will continue in the same spirit. Mr. Golden was on the line. See you soon. By the way, we also have a Telegram channel where you'll find a lot of valuable information regarding trading. Through this channel, we provide access to our tools, the Golden Bot powered by AI, which delivers 50 to 100 signals per day with an accuracy of approximately 80% plus. A VIP channel where you'll not only receive signals but also detailed analysis of each trade, along with exclusive educational materials. Additionally, we have a premium channel where our core team offers support to help individuals become independent, successful traders. If you prefer not to learn or trade yourself, you can join copy trading and automatically copy our trades. In general, you'll find useful content, and we regularly hold contests and tournaments for our most active subscribers. Subscribe to our Telegram channel, and we wish you good luck and profit.